Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's your boy Lump Dog, your favorite fantasy football commissioner's favorite fantasy football commissioner, and I'm back with another PPH video commissioner message, week number 2 of the 2024 season. Whew. All right, here we go, y'all. Here are the standings so far, and the Pimps, Players, and Hustlers after 2 weeks. In the Suckers division, we have Smoking Them leading off at 2-0. West Point Gators at 2-0, Spiced Up at 2-0, Mr. Sweep Spot at 1-1, Boogaloo Boys at 1-1, and then Anonymous Beaver, Brewdogs, and Haters at 0-2. In the Simps division, we got Mr. Liberty or Death at 2-0, No Way Jose at 2-0, and Just My Luck at 2-0. Patty's Playboys and 289ers at 1-1. The Molly Whoppers, Basket of Deplorables, and Irresistible Force following up at 0-2. So one bit of information that I need to get out in this permission message is we're having some issues with the Tommy rule. A couple years ago, it wasn't this past year, and I think it was the year before. Might have been. I think it was the year before, maybe even the year before that. Tommy came up with the rule that anybody that goes on your IR with no red cross is a $40 fine, because what was happening. Me being one of the biggest perpetrators, would put a non-injured player on the IR to make a waiver wire pickup, and then would keep that player on your roster or on your IR until the Thursday lineup check, at which time you had to drop them unless you wanted to pay the fine to keep them on your IR, a $20 fine. So Tommy, to prevent that from happening, came up with a rule that everyone passed. I voted no for it because I thought that the Thursday lineup check solved it, but didn't like people having non-IR guys on your IR, even if it was just for an extra day, right? While you were trying to either make a decision or you were just trying to hold on to them, which doesn't work because once you drop them on Thursday, they're back to be waivers run on Saturday, and you can pick that person up for Sunday if necessary. So anyway, we passed that rule, $40 if player goes on to your IR with no red cross. Now, what the rule doesn't say is that it's not that it's $40 if the lineup locks with a non-injured guy. It's just if you put him on the IR. You don't have to have the game start. So this past week, Britt went ahead and Smoking Them went ahead and put Darnell Mooney on his IR on Sunday. He had Jalen Reed, and he swapped out Jalen Reed on the IR, who had no red cross, but he had a red cross, but it had dropped off because he was playing that Sunday. So he went ahead and swapped out Darnell Mooney for Jaden Reed. Now, Darnell Mooney never had a red cross. So once he put them on the IR, no games have been played. So once he went on the IR, there's the $40 fine. Lineups don't have to lock. It's just the fact that you put him on the IR with no red cross. That's the $40 fine. And then what it should have happened, but I'm again not going to fight the league over this, and since I won the weekly, and I don't want to think that it's just because I'm the one who won it. Matter of fact, if someone else had won it, I would have probably made a bigger deal of this. There should have been another $20 fine for when the lineup locked and he had no red cross. So $40 for putting him on there with no red cross. That's the Tommy rule. That's the fine there. And then another $20 fine could have been assessed to Britt for when the lineup locked and he had no red cross on there. So, in essence, it really should have been a $60 fine. Again, I'm not going to fight everyone over it. I won the weekly, so I'm letting it slide. But bet your ass, if it was somebody else that had won the weekly, I would bring that up and say that was a $60 fine. So just going forward, know that. It's not a $40 fine. It's only $40. It's $40 when you put them on the minute you put them on the IR and they didn't have a red cross, it's a fine. Lineups don't have to lock. You can still switch them out. But if they're on your IR with no red cross, that's the way the rule was voted on, and that's the way it's written. So just know that. And then if the lineup locks and they still, they're still on the IR and they don't have a red cross, that's an additional $20 for that having the Red Cross, a Red Cross, no injured guy locked into your IR spot. That's the way I read the rules. That's the way I interpret the rules, and that's the way the rules are written. If you don't believe me, go look at you can find it here in the website, league details. I'll show you here. I'm not sure if you'll be able to read it on your screen or not, but if you come down here and you're underneath the rules, and you scroll down here to the bottom, to the Constitution. Here's the Constitution, the PPH Constitution. So $20 fine for each play on your IR. Paid to the weekly winner. You can have so there you go, $40 max fine, and then we've revoked the starting and inactive player, which is listed down here below. So then down here it shows you $40 fine for putting a player on the IR with no red cross. This was voted on back in 2022 on March 19th of 2022. This is when that rule was passed, the Tommy rule. So that's how I read it, man. $40 fine for putting the player on the IR with no red cross, and then a $20 fine for the player on your IR that doesn't have a red cross. So I don't know. You guys tell me what you guys think. I going forward, that's how I'm going to rule it. So I'm going to assess $60 fines if that's what happens again. Just to give you an FYI, you've been warned. You guys can talk about it. If there's something else you want to do. I do like that this morning, though, when I was trolling Jimmy and just trying to get him back for calling me a cheater last week about the IR spot when we never voted on going down to one IR spot. There might have been discussions about going down to one IR, but we never voted on going down to one IR. So I was trolling him and getting back at him this morning because he had cheated, but I could see what he had done. He meant to drop Luke Musgrave, and he accidentally slapped him onto the IR spot. So I guess I have the ability to give leniency and mercy and not assign that fine. So I didn't. It's a clear mistake. You can tell with his intent what he was trying to intend to do, and not hoard players. So where's your out? Just try to do it while dropping a player or making a lineup change, and you could just say it was a mistake, and I'll give you the leeway. But going forward, if you put a guy in IR with no red cross, it locks, and you can't remove that player from IR, and when they don't have a red cross, and they never did have a red cross, it's a $60 fine going forward. Understand that. That's not a mistake. That's what you're intending to do, and that's the way it's going to be ruled going forward. So I hope we're clear on that. Capiche? Everyone good? Good. And if we need to, again, discuss it on the thread if you guys have any problems with that. Also coming out of this morning's hoopla of me trying to troll Jimmy and just give him some shit. I guess there's no more rules meetings. People want to do away with the rules meetings, so that sounds good to me. I'm not sure how and where you would pick where we're going to draft in our draft spots, but no rules meeting means no changes to the rule. We're stuck with PPR and decimal scoring, and there'll be no changes to the rules. So I guess I'm good with that because we're playing with it. I'll live with the quarterback scoring, even though I hate it so much, and we'll stay with PPR, which is great. So, all right. Anyway, let's go into last week's games real quick. We'll take a look real quick. I do have a Cone's Corner here at the end. So in our first game, we had Mr. Liberty or Death take out No Way Jose. Excuse me, this is the scoring preview. Not like the tracker. Get to the tracker. All right, we got to go to week 2 here. All right, so here we go. Work our way backwards to forward. Okay, so No Way Jose beat Patty's Playboy 115.7 to 103. Patty's Playboy led by Brock Purdy with 33.1. 16 from Ramondre Stevenson. 16 from Derrick Henry. Good start off there. 18.6 from Flowers, and then from the rest, just kind of shit the bed. Didn't have much going on there in the way of any help, and I'm sure Patty's getting really frustrated with Laporta. Really hasn't done much these first 2 games, but he's waiting for his breakout game. I'm sure it's coming here pretty soon. 32 led the way for No Way Jose. Stroud did. 17.9 from Mason. Pacheco, tough loss there with 13, but did get 13.6. Out 6 to 8 weeks with that broken right leg. Brock Bowers, 14.3. Matt Prater with 15.5, and that got him to 115.7 and got the win and moved to 2-0. Patty falling to 1-1. Next game, we got the haters losing into smoking them 104 to 94.9. Jaden Daniels with 27 points for the haters, 18 from CeeDee Lamb, 13.2 from Tucker, and then 13 from the Ravens D. Couldn't break 100 points, so at 94.9 wasn't going to get it done. Smoking them lost Tua, so only got 13.2 from him, but wasn't having a very good game on last Thursday. Mixon didn't show up. He got injured too. But Gibbs with 14.4, 24.3 from JJ, and then 17 from the Jets. Got him that win. Moves to 2-0. And yeah, going to the next game. The 289ers taking out the Mollywops 111.9 to 104.3. Dak Prescott with 30.5. 15 from David Montgomery, 22.5 from Devontae Adams, and 11.3 from Young Ho, and then to 20 from the Texans D. Now, Mollywops is in a tough spot. Lost Jordan Love week 1, and now is just rolling with Malik Willis. Doesn't have a backup to go with. And I would think he would have found a way to get Andy Dalton just to give him an option, but maybe because it's only a couple more weeks, he believes, and he can roll with Malik Willis for those couple weeks. But at 0-2, I would think you would want to have just an option, at least a quarterback other than the Green Bay guy. But anyway, 22.3 from Malik Willis, 13.3 from Travis Etienne, 14.2 from Bijan, 17.1 from Devontae Smith, 20.6 from Dobbins. And this game was really close on Monday night, but 289ers was able to send the Mollywops to 0-2 and improve his record to 1-1. Next game, we got Jay Nash taking out losing to West Point Gators 120.7 to 124.4. West Point Gators led by actually Achen, Devon Achen with 26 points. Josh Allen with 20.1, 14.4 from Drake London. That last-minute catch, their second catch in the fourth quarter on Monday night, actually won it for him. And 22.5 from Fairbairn and 15 from the Chiefs D. Gator moves to 2-0. Jay Nash, Goff with 25.2, hasn't really started off the season that strong yet. Barkley with 15.6, 16 from Samuel, now he's lost him for a few weeks. 22.7 from Calvin Ridley, 12.6 from Gesicki, and 10.1 from Bucker, and 14 from the Niners D. Wasn't enough to get it done. Came up about 4 points short there and falls to 0-2. Next game, we have Mr. Liberty or Death winning the Irresistible Force 128.5 to 88.3. Lamar Jackson with 32.2. 44 from Kamara. Resurgence game for him. 4 touchdowns. Huge game. So that really led the way for him and got him the dub. Eckler with 10 and 13.3 from Myers. Got him that W and improved to 2-0. Irresistible Force only got 21.1 from Anthony Richardson, 14.4 from Pierce, and 15.4 from McPherson and the Browns with 10 points. 88.3 points isn't going to get it done. Falls to 0-2, but they did make that big trade, and watch Cone's Corner for the breakdown on that trade that he made with Smoking Them, trading away Anthony Richardson. So, again, you can skip to the end here and watch that. Cone's Corner. All right, in the next game, we got Spiced Up, taking out Brewdogs 124.4 to 117.9. Led by Nico Collins with 24.5 points. Then Brees with 20.9, 18.6 from Stafford, 13.2 from Kyron Williams, 18.8 from Aubrey, probably one of, I think, the best kicker. So really hitting points there to have a kicker that's getting you, over 12 points a week. Pretty good. Burrow with 35.7. 28 from Cook. pretty bleak for Dookie after Thursday night's game last week when Cook came out with 28, but he was able to overcome and get the dub. 19.9 from James Conner, 10.8 from Olave, and 0 from the Dolphins D is really where he can lay his hat for this loss. Brewdogs can. Definitely a tough one to take when you get a 0 from your defense. I mean, 10 points there, or 7 points, and you get the dub. So this 0 is not good. Anyway, takes the L, falls 0-2, spiced up, improves to 2-0. In the next game, we got Just My Luck taking out the Basket Deplorables, 103.6 to 97.4. Basket Deplorables with Justin Herbert with only 20.8, and now he looks like he's injured. Brian Robinson with 15.1, St. Brown with 18.4, 15.7 from McBride, which, was a lucky touchdown. It was a fumble recovery in the end zone that got him that touchdown. That's why it says 0 offensive fumble recovery for a touchdown. That's what that means right there. That's 0 yards because he fell on it. Got that. But wasn't enough to get it done. And then McLaughlin with 10.4. Patrick Mahomes for Just My Luck with 24 points. 24.9 from Metcalf. 15.4 from Zach Charbonnet. And 10.4 from Brian Thomas Jr. And then 12 from the Saints defense. Barely got over 100, but was able to get it done and get the dub and improve to 2-0, sending the Basket Deplorables last year's runner-up to 0-2. And then the last game of the week, we have your boy, Mr. Sweet Spot, taking out the Boogaloo Boys, 163.8 to 112.3. Kyler Murray leading my squad with 50.5. Jason Taylor. Taylor with 15.5. 29 points from Marvin Harrison Jr. He showed up big. I understand about that, though. It kind of makes me upset. Like, I'm glad that he showed up and he showed out. I'm really happy about that. But he did it all in the first quarter. There was nothing else the rest of the game. I'd like to see him maybe a little bit more involved throughout the game rather than just have one blow-up quarter. But you know what? I'll take it, and it got me the weekly, so I'm not really complaining. Than the fact that I'd like to, again, see him a little bit more involved throughout the entire game. I guess they did go to him in the end zone a couple more times, but weren't able to connect, so I guess that's a good thing. Malik Neighbors with 24.7, 16 from Rashee Rice, and that was really about it on my squad. Boogaloo Boys, 35.8 from Jalen Hurts, 13.1 from Jacobs, 22.9 from Godwin, and then 10 from the Steelers D. Falls to 1-1, and I improved to 1-1. All right. So again, there we go. That was last week in week 2 in the PPH. Again, Tommy Rule. Looks like Patty's making moves here. We're picking up the Raiders and dropping the Eagles. It looks like he's expecting the old Red Rocket Dalton to have some turnovers and some sacks. So we'll see. Anyway, again, Tommy Rule. Make sure you're aware of it. I hate that rule. I hate trying to enforce the rule. It's something, again, I don't think it's really needed. As the lineup checks, take care of that problem, but it is the rule. It was voted on, so I have to try to make sure that it's followed. So that's my job. Anyway, that's it. I'll get you over to Cone's Corner. Peace.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Cone's Corner. I am your host's favorite fantasy football host. And I appreciate you joining me today. I'm going to start off with a couple questions that are queued up.
Okay, so Cone, we have breaking news.
Breaking news.
Just happening today.
Today.
You're making moves that we need to discuss.
Discuss them. Okay. Let's discuss them.
So, we need to understand the breakdown of your trade that you made with Britt today. You traded away Anthony Richardson, Najee Harris, and Antonio Pierce for Joe Mixon, Jalen Reed, and Bo Nix.
Yes.
How do you think this improves your team?
I am 100% looking at my team not performing from the gate, okay? I'm looking at it. I called on some changes, some serious changes. I needed some serious changes. We put some stuff together. We worked some stuff out. We came out with the best outcome and the best solution to our problems. And I think that we're going down that road, and we're going to try. We're going to try to get out of the grind we're in.
Okay, because you're 0-2 right now.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you like the obviously you love the trade.
I do. I love the trade. I love the change to better things.
Gotcha. And then now that you have Bo Nix, Justin Fields, and Caleb Williams, who do you think you're going to be as like your starter?
I love Fields, right?
Yeah, I know you drafted him.
Dude, I love Fields.
I know you love him.
I don't know. I'm not hunkering down on one QB. I'm just
play the matchups.
I'm just playing matchups and,
right on.
And see. There's going to be people needing QBs, and it's going to happen. So it's trade material
that can work
in the future. I got a lot going on with CMC's out. I'm trying to figure out how that's gonna pan out. I don't know.
Yeah. Exactly. It's hard.
I want to do the right thing. And sometimes doing the right thing isn't right. So you gotta go with what you feel. I don't know how to explain it. I'm out in left field right now with my players. They're just not acting the way I thought they would. They're not doing the things I thought they would.
Right on. Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah, I'm working on my team.
Nice.
I'm trying to make it better.
I hear you.
For the irresistible force.
Yeah. So you obviously love Joe Mixon over Najee Harris.
Yes.
Yes, and you like Jalen Reed over Alex Pierce, right?
I'm trying very hard to mix it up and make that difference. You know what I'm saying?
Get that little edge.
If you just try to make a little something, everything usually just pans out the same. You got to go mining for gold in different areas.
Nice. Okay.
So
sweet, bro.
That's the cone analogy for today.
Okay. Yeah. I'm with it. Well, hopefully, best of luck. We never know how these things work out, so I like to roll the dice, and I just wish you'd have waited 1 week because I'm playing Brit, you dick.
Yeah, man. I mean, it is what it is when it comes down to making trades, and you got to throw stuff out there and hope. You got to look for the people you want too.
The adversity I deal with. I have to deal with Britt when he gets Anthony Richardson.
Yes, yes, you do.
Yeah, I do. And Alex Pierce, he has a combo guy too. Wonderful. Thanks, Tom.
You're welcome.
But I'm glad it's helping your team, bro.
Yeah, you have to make changes when needed. So that's what happened.
All right. Well, I think we understand where you're at, and I again wish you luck. And hopefully everything works out for you, and you guys turn it around and can get a win.
I think we will. I think we'll
awesome.
turn it around.
All right, the other piece of business is that you asked Foster on the thread if he would re-record Cone's Corner Light 'Em Up edition due to the blundering idiot of the commish having the mic turned off on the camera, so it didn't capture the audio.
Yeah.
So you've been trying to make it right and inviting him out and saying he has an open slot.
It's a revolving door. It's a revolving door. It's just
come and go as you please.
Open slot, all the time.
All the time.
For Fox.
And he responded to you on the thread with some demands.
I didn't see
to get him back on the show. Okay. So I want to tell you what his demands are.
I didn't see that. This is my first time viewing your demands, Fox. So.
Okay. So he demands $200 of swag of his choosing.
Whoa!
Dinner paid for by Cone. This is the hardest one for you to get. A heartfelt apology from Lump to Z.
From Lump to Z.
Yeah. Okay. It's worth our while. My ranking for Skin in the Game has some charges. Or changes. Excuse me.
Yeah.
So $200 of swag. This is what you would be responsible for. $200 of swag of his choosing and dinner of your that paid by you. So then if you agree to that, I would have to agree to give Z a heartfelt apology to get him back on the show to re-record the Light 'Em Up edition.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, what say you, sir, to these demands?
Well, we'll have to go through our procedural negotiation portion of the crew and figure out if it's possible.
Okay.
Cone's Corner is a non-profit episodes here. These are all non-profit airings, so you know it's going to be a hard sell. I don't know where I'm going to come up with it. Maybe we can have a donation segment.
A donation,
yeah,
okay.
A donation. You know, like Channel 6.
A Cone's Corner donate GoFundMe.
Yeah, GoFundMe. I mean, not GoFundMe. Maybe just donations.
Just so, but if we
towards-
go, yeah, that's how you give donations to GoFundMe.
GoFundMe.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Unless you want to give out your bank account to the to the league.
I don't think so.
Yeah. So GoFundMe.
Mhm.
All right. Well, we have the demands from the terrorist
Yeah.
for his. So, do we negotiate with terrorists, or do we stand strong and
hold her ground.
we don't negotiate with terrorists?
All right. Well,
We'll have to run the analytics, like
yeah,
you said.
We'll have to
give it AI a once over on it, see what it
see
spits
what
out.
happens, yes.
Yeah, and then once we have that, we'll get back to you. We'll have a Cone's Corner. Here's your answer edition.
You heard it here first from Cone on Cone's Corner. Thanks again for tuning into Cone's Corner, and we'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day, and God bless fantasy football.
All right.